Welcome to Around Town, featuring what's going on here in the greater Concord area. I'm your host, Dick Patten. It's a pleasure to welcome you back as we're now in the month of November, and let's see now. The Wolverines have caught fire again, so now they're hot in the Big Ten, and Patriots are still going there, and Christmas parade's on due, and also the tree lighting here in Concord. And so today, my special guest is Tom Wilmot. Now, Tom was a boss for me back a number of years ago. I worked with him. But he also, when I had a radio show, we used to call him Pharmacist Tom, because he would come in once a week or once every couple of weeks, and we would talk about what's going on in the pharmacy, because Tom owned Apothecary Express at that time, which was on Loudon Road, and then he went to another location in Allenstown, and now he's back in Concord at Granite State Pharmacy over on Clinton Street, working with Chad and company. But now he's extended his talent over to the west side, over to Newport, Sunapee area in Claremont. So I don't know, are we going to lose you or what? I hope not.
No, I like doing what I'm doing too much.
Well, I know, but gee. But you've been very successful, though, it sounds like. Whatever you're doing, though, Tom.
Well,
you know?
Well, thank you, Dick. We just try to take care of our patients and hope it's enough.
I know.
So far it has been.
I had a lot of fun with him, because we did have him come on, and we used to talk about, because what gets me is you constantly see on TV. Used to be you'd see all the cigarette ads, and then they banned them off on the TV stations. Now all you see is all these, buy these pills, buy this stuff, buy that stuff, and you wonder, because they'll say, oh, it's good for you, 1 pill a day and you'll lose all that fat and all this stuff, and then after a while, before the ad ends, you see this little thing comes across, or you hear this voice say, be sure to check with your physician, because not everybody might be able to take this. But yet, the first part of the ad is, it's good for everybody.
Right.
Do you get a lot of people coming in asking about this stuff?
Well, usually our patients know about these medicines before we do, because the ads start on television right away. I just love the fact that some of these commercials are 2 or 3 minutes long, and the list of side effects and possible problems with them is as long as the good stuff that they talk about.
There was one medication that was on there recently that I was inquiring about. I was thinking about, and I want to say, I think it was a weight reducing thing or something. And not that I've put much weight on since my operation, but there was something they were advertising. So I called the number, and it was out west somewhere, and they said, sorry, we don't service the New England area. And I said, well, what in the heck are you advertising on here for then?
Yeah.
You know, really. But I really wonder, though, I mean, you buy the stuff off the shelves, and you have to wonder, is it safe enough? So I'm constantly asking, even my own doctor, is this okay? But
well, the stronger a medicine is, the more it can cause problems. I just don't know about the whole idea of marketing to the patients. They should market to the doctors, who obviously know their patients and have their patients' best interest at heart. And if it's good for that patient, the doctor will know about it. And if it's not, it won't even come up. So why are they spending hundreds of millions of dollars to market directly to the patients?
Yeah, I know it. And again, I often wonder, sometimes they'll say that this is a real doctor or a real whatever on there. Then other times you'll see a thing that comes across, an actor is doing this or something.
Right.
But the one that gets me is the one on Fistatius, I think it is. She's a doctor or something there, or Isn't that the one with eye drops or something? Or what's Vestasis?
Oh, Restasis?
Vestasis.
Yeah, it's for dry eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she a real doctor? And I tried to find her on the internet, and I couldn't. I think I found the name, but it wasn't that she was a doctor of some sort. She was. It didn't say she was an actress, but she was not a registered doctor, physician, or something. I don't know, but I just wonder, people, because people do look at TV or listen to these ads, and they do take it seriously. Now, there's an ad on right now that's been running that has Doogie Howser, two actors from Grey's Anatomy. There was one that was Noah Wiley from ER. He was in there, and somebody else, and
This is the one at the end of the commercial. They say strike a doctor pose.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think they're sort of making fun of the whole thing.
And it's because now there again, they're not doctors, so why would they? I would think I'd be almost scared to be on there asking for whatever. I don't know how they dare do that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a mixed bag of, many of the spokespeople are physicians, and there's other ones that are just paid spokespeople.
I know, and that's what scares me, is how much people will believe them guys, because they're not an actual registered physician.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm amused at sometimes is that we'll talk to patients about, especially over-the-counter medicines. And I will say straight out that I would never waste my money on a brand name over-the-counter pain medicine, say. And yet people come in so brainwashed by the advertising that they'll go, despite my advice, they'll go ahead and spend the extra $3 or $4 because it's brand name such and so, rather than one of the house brands. And it's amazing how the marketing machinery is so good at manipulating all of us. And the medicine part probably wouldn't work on me, but I'm sure that there's many other things, from cell phones to gasoline, that I'm just as manipulatable as other people are for medicines.
Yeah. And all these insurance companies now are cracking down or whatever, and they won't pay for this or that, or unless you go to this one or that one. It's like, wait a minute here, it's almost like holding you hostage. Either you buy from me or else. It's like, what's going on here anyway?
Mandatory mail order is one of retail pharmacy's biggest problems.
Oh, and I hate it.
And the gist of it is there's absolutely no benefit to most patients. It benefits the insurance company and the pharmacy that they own or are very tight with. It's not about taking care of patients. It's about taking care of their profits. And that bothers me.
Yeah, it would scare me, because I just don't know. I just wouldn't trust it. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know the old days of having the doctor come to your house are long gone, unless you're up in God knows where, but I can remember you'd call your doctor, they'd be on your doorstep with their black bag.
Yeah, I work next door to a physician's assistant at the health center in Newport, and when I asked him where he was the previous day, he said that he was out doing house calls, or he called them home visits. And that impressed me.
Yeah.
In 2017, that you've got a medical professional that's out, taking care of patients that can't or aren't able to come to the doctor's office. I know that the VNA does that as part of what they do, but here was a physician's assistant.
Now, what town was that in?
In Newport.
Newport.
Yep.
So how did he get paid? Not with a chicken or with a... I was thinking of the Waltons on that time now, and stuff. It's like, sure.
Most people have some kind of insurance, and
yeah.
I'm just making this up. I'm guessing that there's someone with Medicare or Medicaid, and I'm sure that he wasn't getting paid enough compared to what the resources that he put into it was. But I think it's just he's that kind of guy that he's determined to take good care of his patients, even if he's not being fully compensated for it.
Hmm. Well, I'll tell you, the whole thing has changed so much because I can remember the day when we used to go to see our doctor in his office here in Concord, Dr. Helligan. His office was on North State Street, almost right across from the Concord Monitor Building, the old Monitor Building. You remember that, where that was? Do you remember?
Right on the corner of Pleasant Street?
Well, that's where the Wanalancet Club is, on the corner of Pleasant and North State. You got the big Wanalancet. Now it's
I think the
oh dear,
Riverbend has some
yes,
offices there.
that's where they are. And then next door to that was the Concord Monitor Building.
I mixed up which was
And they
which.
tore down the extension they had built on the other side there when I worked in as a kid. And but Dr. Helligan it was across the road. It was a yellow brick building, still there, and he had his office right there on the left corner as you went in, and he would always give the pills to you. It was either penicillin or whatever.
Sure.
But nowadays it's like it's so different. But and I used to hate penicillin pills. God, I never liked it. It was so bad that either I got the shot or the pills. And I can remember my mother would crush up the pills and put it in grape jelly or something so I'd eat it because I just I couldn't swallow them.
Yeah. Penicillin's not quite as common as it used to be. But
No,
we
didn't they
still have
combine it?
Well, we still have it on the shelf. It's one of our repertoire of antibiotics.
Well, wasn't that combined with ampicillin or no?
Well, ampicillin's a cousin of penicillin.
Oh, okay.
And the whole design behind amoxicillin was that it's more stable when it's in your stomach, and the stomach acids aren't going to do as much damage to the medicine before it can get to your bloodstream.
Hmm.
So amoxicillin effectively is going to do a lot of the same things that penicillin does.
Because I remember that. I remember hearing amoxicillin there, but penicillin was nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, and I can remember taking it with orange juice. To this day, I can't stand orange juice because of that taste. Because gosh forbid you ever had that taste of that pill in your mouth, you can you never could get rid of it.
Well, you know that it's mold that makes the penicillin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it
No, I
comes,
didn't like it.
It comes from a shady background.
Yeah.
I think it was bread mold during the early part of the 19th century that they found out that this mold made a substance while it was growing that did damage to bacteria.
Hmm.
So they refined it, and I think it was probably about the time of the Second World War that penicillin became widely used.
Huh. And then, of course, now they say about aspirin, you gotta be careful of aspirin. Or now Tylenol, you shouldn't take too much Tylenol. They say that's bad. And at one time, everything was Tylenol. Everything.
Right. Yeah. Different people can take different amounts, but you don't know ahead of time which people can take more than the others. Yeah. So they've got some different daily limits on how much Tylenol that you should normally take.
And I can remember seeing them all in the big jugs or whatever they were, or even the cough syrup there. You used to be able to they'd give you some cough syrup in a bottle there. And, some of that wasn't too bad, but I don't know. It's just the whole industry's changed.
Yeah. Oh, just in the time that I've been with it, it's a lot different.
How many years you been in it?
Probably 1973. I started.
Really?
I started being a pharmacy assistant, a pharmacy student in a pharmacy in Claremont. So 27 and 17. It's a long time.
Were you from Claremont originally?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you were always from Concord area.
No, I moved to Concord in 1986 to start working at Concord Hospital.
Really? Huh. And what'd you do up there?
I was the pharmacy director.
Oh, really? Oh, for goodness sakes.
It's a great, Concord Hospital is a great place. I know that it's had its ups and downs, and different people have different opinions about it, but I really like my time at Concord Hospital.
Mm. It is. You've got some different staff members up there, but gosh, it seems like they're always expanding, or they don't have enough room. But gosh, I don't understand. They've got so many. Sometimes you'll hear them say that they got one whole floor that there's nobody on,
Yeah.
but yet they're full. I don't understand that up there.
Well, different specialties as far as who's taking care of the patients. I think you know that my wife works with maternity patients.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't really swap a maternity bed for a surgical bed, because it's different expertise that is around taking care of those patients.
Yeah, I know. When we were up there, it's like, boy, it's changed. Even now, it's changed since the time when my father was up there. My mother, it's like those floors are all different. I can remember years ago, when my grandma was up there. It was you had nothing but 4 beds to a room. Yeah. And if you were lucky, you might get a semi-private. Yeah. And if you wanted to pay big bucks, you'd get a private room, but you wouldn't get many of those. But oh yeah, I can remember you'd have a quad or whatever there, 4 beds, and the nurse come in, quiet down, 2 to a bed, you know. And now you can have a whole room full. But you know, but yeah. No, it's just how it's so different now, you know. And sometimes all these, I just read in the paper, I heard somewhere that Rite Aid was purchased by Walgreens. Have you heard that?
I think they're still in the middle of sorting that out. For a little while, I think it was going to be a complete merger, and somebody, I'm thinking it was probably the Federal Trade Commission, started talking about that they wouldn't let them have some of their pharmacies, so they were talking about selling off some of the Rite Aids to fit the requirements of this regulator. And I'm not sure how far it's gotten. You know, we've got our own fish to fry, so been paying more attention to our own stuff.
Well, I know at the convention I was just at, there was somebody up there saying that they had purchased CVS, and I thought, well, that's different. I didn't think they had done that, but then I found out afterwards it was Walgreens that had was purchasing Rite Aid. And I thought, gee, I can remember one time when Walgreens left Concord.
Right.
They were down by the
Fort Eddy Road.
Fort Eddy Road.
Yeah.
They're down by Market Basket.
Yeah.
And now they're back again, but you know,
on Loudon Road.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Huh. So I don't know, but no, I go in and I look at all this different stuff, or you watch TV, and like I said, all these different medications. It's like, and especially the elderly, how do they know? You know,
well, they should have a good independent pharmacist.
I know. I agree.
Yeah.
I've said that before.
Somebody that'll be flexible to their needs and take good care of them.
Because you know, and I wonder then how many some of these technicians have really been. I want to say, I thought we had a bill before the legislature this last session about the pharmacists or their work. It had to be certified.
There's a requirement now that if the pharmacy technician's going to do things like prescription order entry into the computer, that they either have to have national certification or they have to have gone through an approved training program. And either one's sufficient. And we've got a mixture of technicians at our pharmacies. Some of them are nationally certified, and some of them we've put them through the training program. We have some great technicians that we work with.
Is that a good idea, or is it because it protects people? I mean, it seems like there's such a liability for anybody handling this stuff now.
Yeah.
That
I guess I'm glad that there are some stronger standards. In the old days, as in a year or two ago, anybody off the street that sent in their $25 to the Board of Pharmacy could have access to the prescription department and just get busy helping to fill prescriptions.
Hmm.
And now the hurdle's a little higher, that they've got to have some more background in the process before they can start helping out.
Hmm. Well, that's good.
It's still going to be person by person.
Hmm.
There's going to be great ones, and there's going to be ones that they probably shouldn't be doing that. But I think the Board of Pharmacy tries to make it so that everybody at least meets the minimum requirements.
I'll tell you, because and now you can give shots too.
Yep.
Flu shots and.
Flu shots, shingle shots, and pneumonia shots are the three that pharmacists can give. And I think we're working on, with the Board of Pharmacy and the legislature, to maybe increase that to even more than the three.
But doesn't that scare you at all? I mean, with me a little bit.
It did, as the person given the shot.
Yeah.
It did at first. It took a little while for me to gear up to it. I had a training course and many hours of the background of the vaccines and how to physically do it.
Yeah.
But now we're doing quite a few. I'd say I personally have probably done about 20 or 30 so far this year.
Really?
And as long as no one shrieks when I give them a shot, we're good for the next one. I had one man that hollered when I gave him a shot, and of course I backed right off, and he said, "I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you."
Oh dear. Well,
he certainly got me.
Do you think what's maybe coming next is that you'll be able to draw blood too, maybe for blood tests, or no?
I'm not sure.
I mean, it seems like you're going into an area that was strictly doctors or nurses or whatever. Now you're able to do a certain number of shots. So maybe the next thing is blood drawings or something?
I'm not sure, Dick.
Yeah.
I'm sort of an old-fashioned pharmacist. I like doing prescriptions and talking to patients about their medicines.
Yeah.
As these younger pharmacists start to stray into some other areas, my personal feeling is good for them. I'm not sure that it's for me.
I know it.
I've only got a few more years left of being on the bench in a pharmacy, and I'm perfectly content to do mostly the traditional prescription filling and counseling that we've been doing for all these years.
Wow. Well, I just think myself, it's like, boy. And then when you now, I'm sure, have you had anybody talk to you about that new show on TV, The Good Doctor?
I'm familiar with the show that you're talking about. I haven't seen it except for a few minutes of it.
You've got autism or something.
Yeah.
Would that would something about that? I mean, he does an excellent job, I guess, of portraying that character. But boy, is there such a thing? Is there somebody having that and doing doctoring like that?
Well, I think autism only affects part of your interaction with your outside world, and from what I know about autism, it's not a stretch to me to believe that a doctor could be very good at being a doctor. Maybe some of the interpersonal connections would be awkward, but certainly I don't know that there's anything about autism itself that would keep you from being a good doctor, like on the show.
Yeah, because I would think, gee, that would really scare me or something. But not scare me, but I mean, I think he's doing a great job. But then again, he's an actor, and what about real life? Though, I mean, that's the thing that gets me confused, because, like I said before, when you're doing these pills or stuff, you got these so-called actors pretending to be a doctor or pretending to be whatever, and they're not. I mean, I'm sure they're reading a script, obviously, but sometimes you can give people the wrong idea too.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people will base their beliefs about the medical process or the medical system from what they've seen on TV, and my wife is a fan of some of the reality hospital shows, and the reality ones, the ones where they've really got a TV camera right in an emergency room or in an operating room, those are pretty powerful. It's the dramatic ones that are more fiction, that are made up, that, you know,
Like
some of it's
Grey's Anatomy.
some of it's a little hard to believe.
Especially when they start putting in the soap opera stuff.
Right.
You know, if
Or
you just stay in a hospital, not in this. I said, if any of that stuff goes on at Concord Hospital, I'd be ashamed to go up there.
Yeah.
You know, all this other stuff that goes on there.
I think Concord Hospital is full of professionals that stick mostly to their work, and there's not a lot of drama that like you'd see on TV.
But no, and then you got all these vitamins now. You look through, they got all these vitamins. You got all. It's like, my God, it's just, how does anybody know which to buy? You know.
Right.
I wouldn't know.
I'm not as strong in vitamins and nutritional supplements as I should be. They were sort of a new thing when I got out of pharmacy school in the late 70s. You know, I've sort of studied up on them enough to find my way around, but many of our patients are very tuned into that stuff. But the internet's such a great place to at least start a search and know what it's all about.
Yeah, it's true. Very much true. So, well, we're coming to an end, and we can always find you down at Granite State, once or twice a week maybe, or once a week?
It hasn't been that much lately. We opened a couple new pharmacies earlier this year, and I've had my hands full with that, but I hope to be back more in 2018.
I know, I look for you down there, but anyway, but no, it's a good idea to check with your pharmacist before you go doing too much, because don't listen to TV all the time for what they say is right, because I'd rather talk to you than that, and before I do go doing something else.
Well, thank you.
Well, I would. That's how I feel. I have a lot of trust in you. But anyway, we've been talking with Tom Wilmot, who is an active pharmacist in Concord, and now over there in the Newport, Claremont area. So any questions, give him a call at Granite State Pharmacy, and he're more than happy to help you out there. So with that in mind, thank you to Ian Marx, my director, and have a great weekend. We'll look forward to seeing you all soon on Around Town. I'm your host, Patten.